All right. On to gaming news, people. Gaming news. All right. Roblox. I don't know how many people play Roblox or have played Roblox or has like nephews, cousins, somebody, son, daughter who plays Roblox. I've never played Roblox. I never watched anybody play Roblox. But Roblox is getting a little out of control. The CEO of Roblox says Roblox will have dating someday for those afraid of IRL interactions. We are coming into a new age, people. Again, for me, I've said this before, but I met my wife off of a dating app. Okay, I met my wife off a dating app. But you know what happens when you meet someone off of a dating app or online? You go and meet them IRL. Okay, that is the next step. The next step is not to just continue to talk to them online forever, right? Like if you want to be romantic with somebody, have a relationship, you gotta at some point, or at least I would hope, at some point you meet them IRL. But if you're afraid of IRL interactions, we think Roblox is the place to date with your Roblox avatar. Is that it? Shout out to Real Gotti with the best. Appreciate you. I don't know. I don't know where we're at here, folks, with this. Let's continue and see what the CEO says. So, the CEO of Roblox, David Baszucki or Baszucki, has appeared on a podcast discussing the technical foundation and current reputation of the platform. He took a deep dive in the myth that Roblox isn't safe after walking through what it took to get the game where it is today. If you aren't aware, there have been some pretty interesting, and I use that word lightly, things happening in the Roblox realm. There has been cases where adults have been preying on children because, again, at its core, Roblox is a children's game, but there are a lot of adults on there because we could pretty much do anything on Roblox now. So we have been seeing those cases. So there has been kind of a negative reputation surrounding Roblox and some of the things that people have been doing on there, some of the interactions that people have had. So I understand why the CEO was trying to rebrand Roblox, because again, there's a million things you can do on here. I understand why he's trying to rebrand it and get away from that negative connotation that Roblox has sort of gained over the last few years. So to continue, he also mentioned that someday Roblox will introduce dating features to combat the loneliness epidemic. Are we in the loneliness epidemic, y'all? Are y'all lonely in the chat? I ain't trying to call y'all out, but are y'all lonely? Because I didn't know that this was an epidemic. If we're truly in the loneliness epidemic, then I feel for y'all. I really do. I feel for y'all. I hope that everybody can find somebody. Okay, I don't want y'all to just be lonely. All right, I don't want y'all to be lonely. I hope everyone can find someone. And allow people who are afraid to date in the real world to meet others virtually. Given that Roblox is aimed at younger players, it might seem bizarre to suggest that that it will one day facilitate virtual dating environments. Again, like I said before, at its core, Roblox is a children's game. It also might be bizarre to recommend that as a next step. Yeah. Given that predators have notoriously plagued the platform. Again, what I just said. All right. So the CEO recently appeared on the Tech Stuff podcast to address that possibility. He said, there's a loneliness epidemic going on. I'll go out on a limb to say for, in quotes, 21 and up, ID verified, opted in, someday we'll have dating on Roblox. So this is what he is suggesting. You have to be 21 and up, get verified in your ID. So I know this has definitely been a thing. I know that there are certain people who are like super afraid because y'all know that T app, in the beginning, apparently the T app required you to identify yourself with your ID. And people were like, oh, y'all doing because they end up getting leaked. They don't do it now. They don't require you to verify yourself, ID verify, but there's going to be the future, definitely, in more apps, more things online to verify yourself. So he's suggesting you have to be 21 and up, ID verified, and opt in, and someday we'll have dating or Roblox. I think a lot of people who might be afraid to go on a real life date might find it easier to have a virtual date to start. So it's like a practice, kind of. You're practicing on Roblox with your Roblox avatar. Okay. If they connect, they move to the physical world. I want to make sure that I emphasize that. Okay. I don't care necessarily about how you find love, because again, I just said that I found love on a dating app. But I want people to understand that at the end of the day, if you want to like have a legacy, you want to have sexy time, right? You can't really do that virtually. So at some point you're gonna have to, or at least I would hope you would want to meet whoever you're talking to online on the dating app, whatever dating app of your choice, in the physical world. So I want to make sure that I emphasize that, like, this is just the environment. This is just the prism for you to eventually get to the next step, because there shouldn't just be you just talk to people online forever and that's it. The next step should always be go to the physical, meet the person IRL. Okay. No falling feathers or rivals. Wu Chain. Yeah, we got no Wu Chain. For many, that's a dangerous concept, but the CEO was adamant that Roblox is as safe as it could be. Again, he's trying to change that image, man. We're thankful that we started with younger people on the platform, because arguably it's a much more difficult area to challenge. I believe over time, getting a reputation that Roblox is a dangerous place for bad actors. We do a lot of work with all of the 3-letter agencies and want to make Roblox a dangerous place for anyone who is thinking about that. We're moving more and more proactive. We nudge people on the platform where they're not being so nice or bullying or whatever, and those nudges give an early indication of what we just won't tolerate on the platform. Yeah, I don't know how strict Roblox is now, but apparently it wasn't, early on, and that's where all the predators decided to do their predator thing, which is just terrible. The CEO went on to explain that he's a parent himself, and he's acutely aware of the perception of some regarding the inherent safety of Roblox. He suggested that as a parent, if you're not comfortable with your child being on Roblox, you should follow your intuition. Which again, yeah, if you don't feel comfortable, man, you gotta forcefully tell your kid, hey, you gotta get off that joint and get off. So we'll see, man. I don't know if he's ever going to escape that reputation of like Roblox being like a predator's haven. But I mean, if dating ends up being on Roblox, more power to y'all, bro. Like I said, get it however you can. Like I said, at the end of the day, I just want everyone to meet someone, and I don't want this to be like the last stop. And for there being a loneliness epidemic, like I said, that's tough. That's tough. I don't know what to say about that. All right, next. WB Games, they just won't learn their lesson. WB Games will not learn their lesson. There have been several articles coming out. The main one is WB Montreal is working on a AAA live service game. Are you all stupid or dumb? Are you all stupid or dumb? Why would you have all of these fails? Multiverses, dead. Suicide Squad, dead. What else? Gotham, dead. How many fails, how many L's do you need to have until you say, hey, enough's enough? Let's just make a decent single player or multiplayer co-op experience. It does not have to be a live service game. Say it with me, chat. It does not have to be a live service game. Shout out to my boy Kyle. He asked on Twitter, he said, what is your hot take in gaming? I said, we need to end all live service games and battle passes. End them all. I said we need to learn the errors of our ways. Again, I am a contributor to this, just like I have been a contributor to the past of DLC. So, but I have learned my lesson for the most part. But here's my caveat. I said that any live service game that lasts more than 5 years, just stop. Just stop. There should be no live service game that lasts more than 5 years. Just end it and then move on to the next thing. What are we doing here? Some of these games have lasted way too long, and they have given the industry the impression that everybody can do it. I keep telling y'all, we've said it on the podcast, I've said it on my stream multiple times. There is not enough room for a million live service games. You already know who the juggernauts are. We just talked about one, Roblox. What is the other juggernaut? Fortnite. What is the other juggernaut? GTA. Those are the main three heavy hitters in the live service space. And then you have everybody else. Why would someone immediately abandon the game that they've been playing for more than 5 years to come and play your game? You really have to show someone that you are worth their time and dedication. Okay? Why do we need another live service game? Why do all of these games need to survive longer than the time allotted for a decent game? Why? We don't understand. We don't have enough time in the day to play and juggle all of these live service games. I barely have time to play a single player game that's 20 hours plus. So why do I want to continue to spend my time with all these live service games? The only live service game I'm playing right now is Marvel Rivals. And that's because I like it, you know, for the most part. It has had its up and down, but it's just because I like it. But I can't see myself juggling another live service game plus playing all these single player games. I just can't do it. I just cannot do it. So making another one and further diluting the space is not going to make things better. All right. So let's read this article. According to a new job list in WB Game in Montreal, next game is going to be a AAA live service game that is based on DC Comics. So they're trying again. You already did it twice in the DC universe and you failed both times. What do people want from WB Games in the DC universe? We want Batman. And I mean, unless you could do any better, it's pretty much going to be Batman or bust because you tried already. You've tried already multiple times and you failed. We want Batman. We want a single player experience. We want Gotham. That's all. We want Batman and Gotham. That's it. If you can't give us that, then stop making all these other games because they're not going to work. Maybe Superman, but like I said, it's going to be super hard to balance a Superman game. But maybe after the movie came out and it did super well, maybe y'all can make a decent Superman game, but I don't know. You tried to bring out Wonder Woman. That ended up failing. Y'all ended up canning that. After trying again with that, like I just can't get it right. And you want to try again, make another line server game. It just doesn't make any sense. All right, so working on a AAA game based on the DC Comics universe as revealed through an earlier job listing. However, the fact that it's a live service game is new information, and many players have some thoughts to share about the development, like myself. So it says, bought by Tech for Gamers, a new job listing for an executive producer has surfaced. And then they said they're going to lead the development of a high-quality AAA game based on one of the iconic IPs from the vast Warner Brothers and DC Comics catalog. I don't understand. I just don't understand, like, why they keep trying. And I said this on Twitter. I said, no, y'all not doing this again. How many times do y'all have to learn y'all lesson? You've lost millions of dollars on Suicide Squad. Y'all lost millions of dollars, like 100 million plus on one video game. And y'all idea is to do it again. Try again. Okay, how many times are you going to try before someone on the executive board gets fired? Before someone on the executive board, like y'all whole board, starts to call out other people and be like, look, maybe you're the problem because you keep making these dumb decisions and you're losing us money. Mr. Zaslav, I'm calling you out. David Zaslav is like the worst CEO I have ever seen. The worst CEO I've ever seen. So among this, you know, just to segue just a little bit, but we're still talking about WB. WB ended up splitting HBO and Discovery, right? They're doing that again. You know, first they put them together. And then you have the app called Max. And now it's HBO Max again. And now you're going to split HBO and Discovery up again. So you're just reverting what you did. You're literally just reverting what you did. You've already shut down studios. You've canned movies. And now on the WB game side, you said, hey, let's try it again and do another live service game in the DC Comics universe. Like, what are you doing, bro? David Zaslav, you are the worst CEO ever. Come fight me about it. You suck. You suck at your job. You know, it's okay to tell people that they're terrible at their jobs. You, my friend, are terrible. And whoever else is on the executive board, I don't know if they're afraid of you. I don't know if they're actually making any decisions, but they suck too. Okay? If they're making decisions, they're bad as well. If they're not making decisions and letting you make these decisions, they're equally as bad because they're just sitting there letting it happen. Y'all want to lose money? Y'all want to lose more money? I don't think we want to see WB go away, but y'all are really forcing your own hands. This is self-inflicted at this point. Self-inflicted. How about you just listen to what we want? We don't want another live service game. Give us Batman and Gotham, and that's it. Give us Arkham. That's all we want is another continuation of Arkham, and that's it. It really could be all that simple. You don't have to make a live service. You don't even have to make it co-op. Just give us Arkham, okay? Just fucking dumb, bro. I hate to be cursing like that. Y'all fucking dumb. Like, I'm literally getting more and more pissed off. Y'all, we talked about WB like all of 2024, and y'all are continuing to make dumbass decisions. How many times do you make dumb decisions before enough's enough? Like, Jesus Christ, bro. All right, let's continue on. Former GTA developer thinks GTA 6 players might prefer 30 FPS over 60 FPS. Why are we having this conversation? I think that gamers at this point, it took console gamers a while, but I think at this point, everyone prefers 60 FPS. Standard. 60 FPS should have been the standard years ago, but it definitely in 2025 should be the standard. So why would gamers prefer or might prefer 30 FPS? Let's find out. Let's find out. Grand Theft Auto 6 will dominate 2026, and if the game can't hit 60 FPS. I mean, yes, that is true. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can pretty much you can feed them a pile of shit, and people are going to buy this damn game. We all know that just because of the hype, man. It's probably going to be one of the most hyped games ever. Okay, but why would a gamer prefer 30 FPS? Let's see. A former dev thinks 30 FPS might be the way forward as Rockstar Games and GTA players anyway, and it's considered a trade-off. So, okay, let's dive into this. All right. Obi Vermesh is a former Rockstar Games technical lead who worked on peak GTA games in the PS2 and PS3 era. So you stuck in the past is what it sounds like. In early July, this man claimed that GTA 7, is that right? He claimed GTA 7 will be cheaper to make than GTA 6 because of AI. So he's already thinking about the future, I guess. Now they're suggesting that even though players seem desperate for 60 FPS, why would we seem desperate? Why would we be desperate for 60 FPS? We're not desperate. That should be the standard. I just said it. What? Why are we desperate for 60 FPS? He said GTA 6 might be a better experience overall on 30 FPS. No, it sounds like that's a cop-out. That's not a good trade-off. I'm sorry, that's not a good trade-off. GTA 6 better be 60 FPS. I'm gonna be upset if it comes out on PS5 and Xbox and it's not 60 FPS. Let's see. 30 FPS visual detail might be better for GTA 6. He was asked on X, hey, in your opinion, why is it so difficult for GTA 6 to reach 60 FPS on base consoles? Again, this is a console parity crap that I'll be so mad about. Like, this is why the PC version can't come out day one, and we gotta wait like a whole nother year or 2 years. That's whack, bro. What up, Ron? 15 months I've been here. What's good? What's good? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. So he replied on X, it's a trade-off. At 30 FPS, you can render twice as many polygons compared to 60. For a competitive action game, you'd always go for the high frame rate, but for GTA, you might prefer the visual details. Yes, we want the game to look beautiful, but I don't consider that a fair trade-off. Not in 2025. or 2026 whenever GTA comes out. I don't consider that a fair trade-off. No. In essence, even if GTA can hit 60 FPS, the higher graphical fidelity offered by 30 FPS could be the best way to truly enjoy Rockstar's efforts. Nah, I'm not rocking with this, chat. I'm not rocking with this. If GTA 6 can only hit 60 FPS on the PS5 Pro, will you upgrade? Man, I don't want to have to upgrade for 60 FPS. I'm not getting a PS5 Pro. I'm sorry. They already got me with the PS4 Pro. I'm not getting a PS5 Pro just for the possibility of GTA 6 hitting 60 FPS. It better hit 60 FPS on my base PS5. I know that much. Other than that, man, I may have to make the decision to just wait on the PC version. It's gonna be tough, but I may have to make that decision. I'm sorry. And this game better hit 60 FPS on my base PS5. This game has been hyped up way too much for it to not at least hit 60 FPS. I'm not asking for much. I don't think I'm asking for much. They want to charge $100 30. Yeah, exactly, man. Especially if this game you talking about this game should be $150. No, $150 to be 30 FPS. Kiss my ass. This is gonna be terrible. I'm not hearing good things about this game. All right. Next news. Quick news for all you Hollow Knight Silksong fans. They said a playable demo is on Xbox for Gamescom. We're finally here. It's been spotted in the wild. So it says Silksong is real and a playable demo is coming to Gamescom this year. Constant speculation over its existence and wonder if it's ever coming out is weighed heavily on the sequel shoulders, but we know the first playable demo is happening. So years after its reveal, you can play Silksong. And a hands-on demo for Silksong will be easily one of the hottest booths across Gamescom 2025's multi-day event. So that is cool. We finally got like real confirmation. So, in the words of Xbox, this year the Xbox booth will be full of fantastic upcoming games for Xbox and our incredible third-party partners coming to Xbox PC and Game Pass this holiday and beyond. And yes, that includes Hollow Knight Silksong. The bulletin goes on to say players can go hands-on with the games, including Silksong. This is the first playable public appearance for Team Cherry's long-awaited Metroidvania follow-up. So, hey. Good news, man. Good news for all you Silksong fans. The game will be playable. So we'll see how long if you can't make Gamescom, which I've never been to Gamescom before. I kind of still like these are still like some of the bucket list things that I want to go to. I want to go to TGS. We go to Tokyo Game Show and Gamescom. One of these years I would like to go. But that's cool. That's cool. We'll see how long it takes for a playable demo to be available for everyone else. But at least if you're going to Gamescom, you will be able to play it. All right, and I don't know what there was. Final news here. Sony is suing Tencent over a Slavish clone of Horizon games. So, two of gaming's biggest companies are now in a very public dispute. Sony is sounding they sound like Nintendo right now. They saying, "No, we ain't having that, buddy." Sony, maker of PlayStation and a multi-million selling Horizon series, has filed a suit against Tencent over the latter's upcoming game called Light of Motorum. I remember when I saw this, I was like, that looked like Horizon. Like the looks were pretty uncanny, man. Like the artwork looked very similar. The protagonist looked similar. The actual robot creatures look similar. It looked like almost a carbon copy. It looked like, yeah, exactly, kid. This is the Power World mess all over again. You are 100% accurate with that. Only now with Sony going after Tencent. Man, oh man. Sony says that Motorum, unveiled last November, is a Slavish clone of Horizon. The suit, Sony Interactive versus Tencent, was filed on last Friday, in federal court in California. Everything is always in California, alleging that Tencent has violated Sony Horizon's copyrights and trademarks with the development and promotion of Light of Motorum. Sony is asking the court to rule that Tencent violated Horizon's copyrights and trademarks and to enjoin them from producing work that does so. Translation, they want the court to block the game's release. Ooh, now we're getting really spicy. We're getting really spicy. Sony doesn't want the game to come out. That's tough. That's tough. To continue on, the Horizon games like Multiroom are set in post-apocalyptic futures. Both feature Redhead, the female protagonist, battling mechanical beast bots. Both mash up motifs from indigenous tribes with futuristic tech. I mean, look at this. Look at this chat. In the suit, Sony lawyers had a field day with side-by-side comparison of released Horizon games and a pre-release promotion clips of Multiroom. I mean, if you haven't seen the game or need a refresher, just look at this. Just look at that. All right, exhibit A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You can't tell me that they don't look similar there. Come on, man. You could at least made like your character, and I'm talking about Tencent, you could at least made your character not being like an indigenous tribe. Like, what were y'all thinking, Tencent? I feel like this is just like Ethos was saying, because he put this in the chat. He said he feel like they're testing the waters here. Feels like Tencent is testing the waters to see what they can get away with. You know, like they want to see what they can get away with. Cause Tencent got money. They got money to fight it. Okay. They got an infinite money glitch. Do they truly want to see like how far they can push? Sony said, nah, we ain't having this. They saying we ain't having this. All right, next one. Visual elements. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that right there. Come on, man. Come on, Tencent playing. They playing right now. They really playing. They said, man, we said we gonna throw a little jab at them. We gonna throw a little jab at them, see what they do. So they're gonna mess with y'all now, Sony. We gonna mess with y'all. See what y'all gonna do. Like, what? That's crazy, man. The most eyebrow-raising part of this suit is Sony's claim that Tencent pitched. Yeah, this is the kicker. When I saw this, I said, no, that's crazy. They said Tencent pitched PlayStation in early 2024, proposing that its Aurora Studios make a Horizon game. So, in turn, because this wording is a little weird. Tencent wanted to take the IP from Sony. Okay, they wanted one of their studios to make an Horizon game, and Sony said, nah. Sony said, nah. That's funny. That's funny. That's why I said Tencent is playing. So after Sony said no, Tencent said, all right, we're gonna make the game anyways. Since y'all don't want to let us get the IP, we're gonna make our own game, and it's gonna look exactly like y'all's. What y'all gonna do about it? That's some crazy stuff, man. The Chinese and the Japanese, they beefing, bro. Sony says it was unaware at the time that Tencent Aurora outreach of the then announced light of Multiroom. Sony believes that Multiroom had already been in development at the time of the pitch. I mean, yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. I think so too. Possibly a full year prior. They probably had it in the tuck, and then it was like, let us ask Sony if they'll let us get the IP for it. After they already had it in development. Like Tencent added for sure. Exactly. The PlayStation maker speculates in the suit that Multiroom Studios Polaris Quest on information and belief is another name. It's also another name for Aurora Studios, or another wholly owned Tencent studio working with Aurora. Sony said that it approached Tencent earlier this year to work out the issues between the games. The company says the Tencent again asks, dang, so they said, oh, y'all said no to us once, man. Well, let us ask again, can we license Horizon? Sony again said no, and Multiroom remained underway, and now Sony is suing. Sony said, hell no, you can't get our franchise, buddy. You can't get our IP. That's crazy. So they said earlier this year, Sony had a discussion with Tencent trying to informally resolve its concern that Light of Multiroom violated its IP rights. Tencent again sought to license the Horizon IP. Sony again communicated clearly and unequivocally that it would not license the Horizon assets to Tencent, objected to Light of Multiroom, and insisted that it be withdrawn. Tencent has signaled that it rejected Sony's demands and would forge ahead, releasing a new promotional trailer for Light of Multiroom and announcing that in the near future, this game will also commence global testing. Tencent is playing games right here. They're literally playing games. Crazy stuff, man. Tencent has continued to release additional promotional materials, suggesting that the game will soon be made available for playtesting. Sony is thus forced to file this action and seek judicial relief to protect its valuable and hard-earned IP rights in the Horizon franchise. And then there's an update and a little more here from what Sony said with Tencent's 2024 pitch document about making a Horizon game through its Aurora Studios. Tencent's pitch including the idea that a Chinese flavored Horizon will have extra appeal. So this is what they're saying here. It's crazy, man. They say, oh man, because it's Chinese, man, we're gonna have a little bit more seasoning than y'all. Oh my goodness. I want to look at this trailer again though, because I'm like, oh, like what? Oh, look at this trailer one more time. Let's see this. Oh, this thing 7 minutes. Hold on, man. That's a little long.
Wake up.
Not like the game don't look good. It does look pretty good.
I call you forth, the fourth breath I grant you, to live in this world which spirals against time.
Exactly, Ash. Exactly. We're gonna skip ahead a little bit. Tencent was like, we'll make your game better. He's like, you know, yeah, I'm like, the game looks good. They done a good job so far with what they're showing. I want to see some combat though. I got a combat. There we go. That's what I want to see, the combat. Like the combat reminds me more of like a Souls game. Yeah, it kind of like Monster Hunter too. Yeah, the obvious one, Monster Hunter. They Siggy would say this to Mickey. You got your companion fighting with you. And it's pre-alpha too, man.
You won't silence up.
Oh bad. So
How much more research?
like I said, the game looked good, but yeah, Tencent is funny, bro. They're hilarious. Maybe they should have. Sony, y'all should have gave them the IP, man. They said the game don't look bad. But yeah, no, it's hell of a carbon copy. I don't know what Sony did to Tencent outside of just saying no. Outside of just saying no, you can't have the IP. But I mean, that's pretty silly, man, for them to be like, hey man, we're gonna out of all the games you could have copied or just try to make your own, IP. Why Horizon though? Why was that the game that y'all were like, hey man, we wanna do a game like that? I don't know. But hey, here we are. We'll see what happens with this because this is gonna be a little fight because it's not that Sony, unlike the Nintendo situation, Nintendo let Power World come out. They let Power World come out, and that game was that game was talked about years ago. We seen that game years ago, and I remember people saying as soon as that game got previewed that this game looked just like Pokemon. I remember that, and Nintendo ain't do nothing. They ain't found no suits, no nothing. And then as soon as Power War came out and everybody was playing it, then they was like, "Oh man, we gonna find a way to sue. We gonna do all these patents, and then we gonna sue." So Nintendo was playing the long game, but Sony said, "Nah, we don't even want the game to come out. We don't even want to give y'all a chance. We want to give nobody a chance to say, hey, this game looks just like Horizon." So we'll see what happens with that, man. We'll be keeping up with that. It's it. They don't want to blow exactly. Exactly. They say, nah, we ain't gonna let it get that far. We ain't gonna let it get that.